Hey guys, what's up? Chris from Geek here. Today I'm going to be dry hopping my West Coast style IPA that I'm making for a concert in August. So I figured, this is kind of putting the cart in front of the horse, as they say. But figured since I was doing it, it's a nice simple video. If you've never dry hopped before, this is kind of a real simple process. I do mine 5 days after primary fermentation starts. I still like to have some of the active yeast in there just to kind of keep things a little bit cleaner, kind of clean things out. That's how Firestone Walker does it too, so I'll go with that. But yeah, and I also have a baby attached to me, which I don't know if you can see him, but there he is. So this is my wife's out shopping, so this is my Sunday off. So this might be a little bit difficult to do with him attached to me, but I will try my best. Okay, so what I have here is a Tupperware container of Star San with my paint strainer bag in it. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the hops in here, tie this off, and put it into the bucket of beer. And I put it in the Star San. You do definitely want to sanitize that because you never know where it's been, or even if it just came out of the package, just sanitize it. It's worth it. It takes 2 seconds. Back here, a bottle of my spray bottle of Star San, my knife to open the hops, and of course, here are the important things: the hops. I'm using an ounce of Citra, 11.1% alpha acidic units, ounce of Centennial at 9.2. and an ounce of Amarillo at 7.2. So this is going to be a very West Coast kind of sweet hoppy type of dry hop here. The next most important thing is a beer. This is the Imperial Stout from Santa Ana, which is an absolutely exceptional Imperial Stout. And I got a 4-pack of this for like $6. It was on sale, so I picked it up. And I believe Ron, Beer Noob, also did a review for this last week, so if you want to check that out, it's on brewed.com. And last but of course not least, the beer. Again, this is the what is it? It's like my West Coast kind of two-hearted ale kind of hybrid beer that I'm brewing. But it's about 4 to 5 days into primary fermentation. Fermentation's pretty much all but stopped. It's a quick 3-day, really vigorous fermentation. So there's still some yeast floating around there. I picked it up on the counter, get some, kind of rouse some of it back up so we get some going, kind of get there and help clean up the dry hops. But let me get the hops into the bag, and we'll go from there. Okay, so there it is, the big hoppy mess. And again, I apologize, that's my son. He's kind of attached to me today. But yeah, that's the 3 ounces worth of the hops. And I'm just going to lift the lid up here, and you can kind of see what's going on down in there, I think, if it focuses. That's basically it. I just popped the bucket lid, I put the paint strainer bag of hops in there, and that's just to keep a lot of the hops out of the chub. And this isn't my primary, I should mention. I do occasionally do it. I'll move the beer to a secondary and do it. This one, it was such a quick fermentation. It's a really short beer. I'm just going to do it in the primary. I actually only yielded about 4 gallons out of this one. I was hoping for 5, so that's another reason I didn't want to transfer to the secondary and lose some more. But so yeah, I put the bag in, then I shake it up a little bit just to kind of get the yeast roused up and kind of get the the bag fully covered with the wort. And it kicks up fermentation a little bit. It'll probably ferment, pretty vigorously, not vigorously, but this maybe 2 or 3 bubbles a minute for another day or so, and then it'll kind of die back down. And I'll leave the hops in there for about a week, depending on the beer. 3 ounces of hop, that's a lot of hops. I don't want it to be too overly hoppy, so I'm only going to leave it in there for about a week to maybe 10 days. And after that, I will pull it off into a keg. I'll crash cool it, and then I'll carbonate it. But that's pretty much dry hopping. You just take a paint strain bag from Home Depot, sanitize it, put your hops in, leave a little bit extra room because they do tend to expand a lot. So leave a little bit extra room, tie it off at the top, throw it in your bucket, make sure everything's sanitary, throw it in your bucket, close the bucket back up. I push the air out a little bit, just push down the lid, get the oxygen out you let in there, but it should be good to go, and I recommend 4 to 5 days into primary fermentation, that you do that. You can do it in, you know, the third day if you want. That's up to you. And that's pretty much it. Keep it clean, you know, keep it sanitary. Have a homebrew, or this isn't a homebrew, but, you know, have a beer. And don't worry about the outcome. It's really hard to mess up beer, I promise you, you know. Don't sweat it. That's what I always tell new brewers. Just don't sweat it. You'll be fine. Relax, don't worry. Have a homebrew. Cheers, fellas.